he was like, man, I regret like chasing a bag. Like I used to try to just jump from country to country chasing the bag. He was like, if you find some place that accepts you and you can continue to work there and you like it, he was like, just ride it out, man. And I
Definitely.
have
Definitely. Go ahead.
I said I had been to a lot of places and I found like I enjoyed the ball here and the people here. So I was just trying to continue to ride with it.
So obviously like ABL season's like 6 months long. I've seen you playing like different tournaments in China, Malaysia, and that surrounding area. How do you stay in Asia for so long, without going home in between jobs?
Uh, I just go from place to place. Sometimes I go home and fly back. Man, I done stayed in like hostels. I done live with my trainer in Vietnam. Shout out to Justin Parks. Um, and I'll stay with him and train until jobs open up. Like I've been kind of just like really like a nomad in between jobs, doing these camps for Cultivate Basketball.
Mhm.
Just trying to stay active in the region, man.
Yeah. So how important
Shout
is
out
it for
to
how,
Bono.
how important is it for you to stay out there in between seasons? Because I know like a lot of guys, at the drop of a dime, any team in any country um, can replace an import for whatever reason. So I know a lot of guys like stay in the region. Is that part of why you do it?
Yeah, that was why. That's how like last season before I went to Mono, I kind of like came out. I didn't even have a job. I just came out. You know, me and my trainer in Vietnam. He was like, "Yo, just you can come out here. We can train and prepare. And if something opens up, you know what I mean, just go straight from here. It makes it more, you easier for the teams too. They don't have to pay for, you know what I mean, for guys to come from the States. So if I'm just in the region, it's just easy access. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's another sacrifice, just being away from home and family, man. But I want to just play. I just want to hoop and be.
Definitely, definitely. T Nick's just yeah, you just answered that completely, man. So obviously you've played in the ABL for quite a while now. Um, your career averages are 19 points a game, 14 and a half rebounds, 2 assists and 2 blocks. And this comes, you said you didn't start playing in Thailand until you're 32. So this is like deep in your 30s when a lot of guys, start that downhill slide. But it seems like you just keep getting better and better. Um, what is, what do you feel like is behind that? Is it your work ethic? Is it you're just working smarter? You're just like a super late bloomer where you're hitting your peak as you hit your mid 30s. What is it?
I think uh first of all, man, uh, I think I was like when I'm looking at my game, I just had to change it, like we talked about earlier, man, just to try to change it to adapt to where my body is and where my age is. So I think
Yeah.
that's helped me. And then just the stuff that I did early in my career, I guess it helped. Like a lot of the off the court stuff. I mean, like relationships and how I treat like the locals and everything. I think that comes into account as well as what I'm saying, not outside of being able to perform, but just
Hmm.
like a lot of people say it's politics or whatever. But I think like how you treat people. I talk about this a lot too. I think that helps too. You know what I mean? On top of course, you got to perform. You got to get buckets and do all that stuff, but also just like you know, being good with people. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Definitely. And I appreciate you bringing that up because I wanted to ask you for me personally, like this year for me was like a big year of like personal growth because I feel like, my first 3 or 4 years I was coming in and I just was so passionate and I just wanted to kill everything in front of me and I didn't want to be friends with anybody. And,
I
you know,
was the
that kind
same.
of, that kind of like rubbed people the
Yeah.
wrong way. But this year I kind of feel like, I took a step back and I was I'm a little bit older now. I see a lot of young guys, so I'm offering them advice. I'm trying to help them out.
Right.
It really hit me when this one player, he was like one of the best players in the league, but it was his first year playing. And I remember like after a game, I said, "Hey man, good job." And he, I seen his attitude before and stuff, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, thanks." I put out my hand, and he was like, and like walked off, and I was like, "Man, this is really karma, man." But talk about how important it is, to separate the two, like off the court to be a good person and you
It's
know.
the it's the same thing. I had the same mindset, and that's how you gotta have that, right? Like you gotta have that, you know, like I ain't trying to be nobody friends, like you know what I mean, killer mindset. But when you get older, I don't know if it's like when you get older, it's like you can still turn it on the court, but off the court, like you said, like reach out to guys, try to give them advice. Even if you get that, you just got to take that on the chin. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I know that they have that same mindset. Like, I ain't trying to talk to be your friend or like that, but
Yeah.
I just look at, all right, man, I just got to be the bigger dude and like, all right, whatever, man. I was the same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you like establish, like already, like once you establish who you are, you know who you are as a player. Um, you always gonna have that killer mindset. You ain't gonna try to like you got to have that, but at the same time, I think it just came with age, man. And like seeing other
Definitely.
players, like I played with like Stephen Thomas, and like he's like ultra competitive. Like he just got his face, it just looks mean all the time. But I seen it like he was able to kind of have that balance of like I'm a killer on this court, but I'm also like I want to take care of guys, and give guys advice, even if they not like responsive to it. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
still doing your like what I mean,
I
give
think
back to guys.
I think Steve's the perfect example because you see him and he's 6'9" and just straight muscle, and he's got this face like he's gonna kill you, you know. Yeah, I
Right,
think he's
right.
fearing to a lot of people, and then you talk to him and he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving. He scares
There-
refs and everything, man.
But man, yeah, I think that's a big thing too, is because now obviously I'm building up my academy. I have a travel ball program, and for me, it's so much bigger than my personal individual like goals. It's I'm able to like help guys, and I see that like guys that I battled on the floor with, like I'm able to help them get a job. They're able to help me, get places, and I think
Right.
that's what ultimately helped me. So, um, what is your reason behind starting Cultivate Basketball? Is that part of the reason that you started that up? Because obviously you throw camps in different countries, and you're trying to really get indulged in these cultures, the places that you
And,
play.
and first of all, I got to say like that I'm really like inspired by when I watch other guys that are pros like
Hmm.
yourself, man. That just go out of their way to kind of help people, man. Like you putting on like pros, like you putting on other guys and having events and helping kids, and that's what it's about, man. So like early on in my career, I was like just so locked into to just like kind of selfish, like tunnel vision. Like I didn't have. I was putting all my energy into just like whatever I got to do to be a good player. But as
Hmm.
I got older, man, and I'm starting to see other guys like really use a platform to help other people, I was like, I need to be helping people, man. Like, and when I had dark times where I couldn't like play, like when I was injured, and I had a lot of people help me. I was like, man, like it just felt better to like help people, man. That really like was something that got me out of it. It sounds selfish too, but when you help people, like you get so much out of it, man. To see them get opportunities that that they deserve that they might not have had by you helping them. So that's like kind of like where I started to cultivate. It's like I had so many people help me along my journey, man. Like it's my time. Like I waited too long to like start. I wish I would have started younger. I think guys like you. That's why I admire like you, like in your 20s, and you're unbelievable for the culture, man.
I appreciate it so much, man, especially coming from you. Um, and honestly, that's why I started training. Is I broke my foot my senior year. Even just to make it to college, like I went through cancer and I went through all these things, like
Or
just road bump after road bump, and I had to go to prep school. I played 1 year of varsity, just all these things, and I just never wanted kids to go through like the pain that I felt. So now, like, even when I go overseas, I feel like it's hard because there's times where I feel guilty. Like, man, we're making so much progression. Like, I want to be able to help this guy who's gone for like 5 months.
right,
So, like, the past few years for me, it's kind of been like a balancing act, like staying there and, watching film. And thank God we have things like this where we can talk through a phone and we can watch games and break
right,
stuff
right.
down. How much longer do you feel like you could play or you want to play for?
Um, as long like Lord willing, man. Like I said, I want to get to 40, man. It depends on like even like with this with the virus that's happening, man. Like just that break. Sometimes I just got to really take care of my body, man. I mean, because it's like a old bus, man. Once you like shut it down, man, like it's hard to restart it, man. Like it takes a while. It takes a while, man. So like, I'm trying to do my best to stay active because I want to play for a couple more years.
And it's crazy because I remember